Hi guys, I have a question, or there is a question on Discord from a user saying, look, I can't find my Windows anymore, right? So dual booting is never what we advise. It gives lots of frustration, needs knowledge, and get broken systems, and you get frustrated and you just stay away from Linux. That's not the point, right? The point is, there are three major operating systems out there: Mac, Windows, and Linux. Keep them separate is my advice. But even so, if you can't, right, then this is the video to dual boot. The tip is very clear. Go download your ISO. 64-bit is probably 99.9% of the time correct. And then we have a VirtualBox ready of 80 gigabyte, more or less. Here it is, 86 gigabyte, and Windows 10 is in there, and we're gonna install Windows first. So that's the idea. Always install Windows first, and then let any Linux distribution out there, whether they're using the Calamar's graphical installer or not, let them choose how to handle Windows and to boot and grub and all that. So time and currency is all good. The only thing I really do need is the Belgian periods is what I need to type my AZERTY keyboard, and all the rest I couldn't care less. It's the VirtualBox anyway. The thing is, you'll have a hard disk, an NVMe, or an SSD, right? And then you decide what you have, right? Windows and Windows keys, they are matched. So if you bought a key for the Windows 10 Pro, you take that one. In our case, it doesn't really matter since it's on VirtualBox anyway. If you have already Windows, you can upgrade. We have nothing, but I would never suggest this thing, because any operating system, Linux, Mac, and Windows alike, they profit of getting rid of the home. There are so many people out there who have lots of questions when they keep their home partition in Linux, and then they switch from, well, the underlying operating system, and that's asking for trouble, right? So my advice is totally against it, because all the frustrations come to us, and it's up to you to actually solve all these things, not up to us to solve it, right? So keep it simple and stupid. If you want to keep settings in home, fine, put it on USB, put it on GitHub, get it back like that, an external hard disk, you name it, but just delete the home partition, or well, the home folder, and don't use home partitions, just one big chunk. So drive, unallocated space, fine, new, okay. If you're on a system that's been used, you'll have here lines. Delete it all. Other tip: if you have two hard disks, unplug the hard disk that you certainly don't want to override. Okay, data, all the Steam games, gigabytes of games, right? Don't want to override it by accident, because you thought, and voila, it's gone. So that's another tip. Let Windows take control of whatever SSD or NVMe that's still in this system, and delete everything. So I can't delete anything, but there will be lines here. Delete it all, and then you get the exact same look as I have, and then you say apply. Let him do his work, and he'll make two partitions: one system reserved and one partition 2. And we say next, and then we pause the video. All right, time again to choose. Let's start with region. Is this correct? Obviously not. Belgium it is. Is this the right keyboard? No. and skip. Yeah, this is the time when I can pause the video. Time to click something. And this is where it all went wrong a few generations ago. They want you to log in with an MSN, an Hotmail or an Outlook account, something Microsoft, right? And then you can sync all the settings, your personal settings, and then sync to the cloud. And when you come to another computer, you can sync back. But we just want to test this out. An offline account with limited experience is just fine with me. So Eric has a beautiful password that I'm confirming again. I have also a beautiful answer, which is the same as my password. And another wonderful question, that's gonna be Eric. And another nice question, that's gonna be Eric. Oops. Voila, we're past all the security stuff. And then we got all the creepy things. So we're gonna say no, 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 no. You choose what you install. And we're gonna pause the video again. Oh my God, I got an operating system, right? Now, let me include a tip that might interest you. There is this browser called Microsoft Edge. But what does Eric Dubois do after a clean installation of any Windows? I go to nanite.com. Always say to my students, you can forget everything except nanite.com. Tell your kids about nanite.com, right? These are suggestions we make in the class. Get this one, get that one. This is just a virtual box, right? But select the things you like. What else would I? This, if you know already what it is, why not install it? TeamViewer. Notepad X++ is certainly an interesting one. Here's Visual Studio Code, Eclipse and other tools to edit things. But Krita is here, Blender is here, Paint.net, GIMP, Inkscape. There's Spotify maybe, VLC certainly. Handbrake if that's your thing. Foxit Reader, not Adobe Reader, but Foxit Reader, smaller, and WinRAR. And if you select all these things, you get a executable that you can trust. That's one thing. No viruses, no adware, no spyware. And it will get things done. When I select everything, I go eat. And I come back. And all the software is installed. And that's what matters, right? Otherwise, you have to go to Mozilla, go to Google Chrome, go there, go there, go there. Fetch this, fetch that. One place to rule them all. Now, that's just a tip. So let's shut down. Windows is installed. Oh, let's maybe do one more thing. Right mouse click so we see what's happening. Disk management. We have here a system reserved little bit. We have a C. That's the one we're gonna cut in two. 86. So I've made a big virtual box. So I can cut it really in two, 40/40. And then 516, just a healthy recovery partition, whatever, right? So let Windows do the division of the hard disk. And then you take a Linux distribution, because I am honestly not interested in what distribution you take, right? As long as it's Linux, I'm already happy. So we boot up with ArcoLinux, the latest, newest Plasma that I've made. Today, Plasma, or yesterday, I don't know. Anyway, the thing is, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 choices. If you know you have an NVIDIA card, you might be helped with this one. But unfortunately, there are 3 packages. The older NVIDIA cards are often in 340 or 390. And the new guys, just on the market, like 1, 2, 3 years, right, will need the NVIDIA one. Some of the hardware can't work with Nouveau. So this choice is NVIDIA is there, Nouveau is out. Here it's NVIDIA is there, Nouveau is still there. And here it's open source, no Nouveau, open source. For us in a virtual machine, the first one will be just fine. So go off if you totally have no clue what to do. Line number 1 test, line number 2 test, and so on until you get a result that satisfies you, basically. So boot up with any Linux distribution. They will have an installer, a graphical installer. Not always, right? ArcoLinux does not have a graphical installer. It has go type the commands kind of vision or idea, which can be fun, but which can be also very, very difficult for starters. So that's why Calamares is a great tool, a visualized thing, and a choice. These days we have a choice. I would say 80% of the distributions out there have this as starter, and they don't give you the freedom to select any of the packages. It's we put this on your system and then you go ahead and do your thing, right? We give you the solution, the freedom to also go for an advanced installation, but advanced installation requires knowledge you might not have at this time yet, right? But over the course of 2-3 years you'll get knowledge about packages and drivers and all that. So in the beginning I would advise, and if I tell you that I always use beginner installation, right? Me, Eric Dubois, is using beginner installation because that's the easiest way to do, the quickest way to get everything on there. And later, if I want Spotify, sudo pacman -s Spotify, put it in a little script, run it, got it. So it's that simple, right? Don't think, oh, everybody needs to use the advanced. No, Eric uses the simple one. Next, Brussels, all that, keys, voila, Belgian. And then next, erase disk. Here it matters to be awake. Sometimes I'm not, right? And then I overwrite everything. That's not the idea. We don't want Windows to be deleted. This is erase disk. This one is installed alongside. If I click here, select the partition to shrink, then drag the bottom bar to resize, boom, I can resize until here, until there. In between somewhere I need to be, right? Voila. You decide accordingly, if you have 1 terabyte of hard disk or NVMe, you choose. But it says up here, install alongside. Now, if you have a second hard disk, well, my first tip was unplug whatever you don't want to accidentally overwrite, but you may have the idea of the possibility to have SDA, Windows, SDB, so a second hard disk, Linux. And then you, of course, need to select here SDB. Okay, so select storage device, SDA, just the one. Told him that the Windows needs to be partitioned, designed or shrunk, right, into one partition and the other, and they'll get names. You'll see it shortly in the summary. And here's the summary. So what it'll do is it'll create an SDA for, voila, SDA2, here it is, the name, the number, SDA2, SDA3, and stays the same, ArcoLinux. Just wondering. Looks good. And then we install everything. A nice pop-up saying, hey, remember, everything's gonna be gone, right? Are you sure? Are you sure? Yes. Okay, install now, and then we wait. And then suddenly everything is all done. And then we restart. So we have two machines. Sorry, again. We have two partitions and not two hard disks. So it means basically that you're splitting up a hard disk virtually. We're booting up existing OS, and this is a normal look. Linux wants to be first, and often like 90% of the users don't want that, right? They want to have Windows, and occasionally they go into Linux to learn, watch videos, do things. But that's the order at this point in time. So either it's going to be this one, or the advanced options you can have in there. So if you go in there, and sorry, that's one level down, and with escape it's one level up. All right, we can continue our video. So Calamaris divided the hard disk into pieces, and let's boot up Windows 10 and see how everything is working. Please wait. And there we are. Who am I? I'm Eric. The resolution is so beautiful. I don't know if I can do anything about it, but I can have a look. 100%, yeah, cool. Oh my god, right? Still not the right one, but it's still already a little bit better. Keep changes and whatever, right? So Windows is here, but the thing is, people want often not Windows to be not Linux to be the default boot up. Let's maybe do it as it's supposed to be. The future system will not have the ArcoLinux B Plasma ISO USB in there. So when you boot up, you get this straight away. And what people often want and ask is, Eric, I would like to have the Windows 10 as the first one, as the default to boot up, right? Up here. And now it's not, now it's Linux. That's Linux, right? It's taking over, it's taking control and saying Linux is the first one on Windows. You go to the end of the line, right? There is an easy way, and it's also, well, on many of our ISOs, and the ArcoLinux XL is the flagship, and it has the grub-customizer on there. So the ArcoLinux B here has it too. So check it out. Does it have grub-customizer? If it has, it's super simple. This needs to go to the first entrance, predefined first entry, right? Or you say predefined Windows 10 here, default entry, predefined. Or you do the other way around and say, okay, first entry, and that's what I often do. Move this thing up, move up, right? Move up, move up. I used to be able to drag this. I don't know if it's still possible. Don't think so. So new versions, right? Move up and then save. How technical is that, right? Just move up the list here, and here it still says first entry. So we've got ourselves a Plasma system in this case. Restart, and Windows is now moved at the top. Oh no, visually it's not. So this, I guess, is still not in order. Look at that. So Control Find, let's do a restart, actual restart, power down, restart. Is grub not doing its work anymore? That's updates for you. No, it's not. So ArcoLinux Linux here is not working. The Windows 10 should have gone up there. Ooh, what may have been the reason for it? We never had to do that in the past, but hey, things change. You use your common sense, your analytical skills, right? Update grub. Sudo reboot. Ah, that's better. So I'm not touching my keyboard or anything. So by default now it goes to the Windows 10. So that's new, guys, that's new. So grub-customizer, okay, fine, but remember update grub. Okay, cool, learned something today. So we'll find videos out there about the grub-customizer. So we're now November 2021, and since then, right, you need to do the update grub thing afterwards. As long as we know, as long as the knowledge is out there, everything is cool. A quick test if we can get an ArcoLinux, and then the video is at an end. Et voila. Want to see what's going on? Cheap parted is our Swiss knife. So one hard disk cut in two, telling this is NTFS Windows and this is X4 Linux. And in here somewhere is also the grub. Alright guys, have fun. Cheers.